Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow, and basically today we're going to be talking about overall sentiment and what's going on in the market. And I was working on a little graphic, and I'm trying to fix my video here. I was working on a little graphic because everybody's freaking out a little bit right now, and I think this video and message overall is probably going to be a little more for the newcomers to the space and kind of what's going on. We are seeing a Bitcoin dump a bit right now, and we're just entering the US 930 market. This is going to be a push, this one push, two push, three. All right, we're going to look at that. But so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some things with you first. Actually, let's go ahead and look at what's happening with Bitcoin's price, because that's something to be said. So as you can see here, we're seeing a push down, and we're just getting ready to start into the Wednesday US market. So this is the 930 mark. Now, what I'm expecting so if you remember when we were on, when I was on the Trading Wars, was that yesterday, as a matter of fact? I was waiting for a short, and I went into a short, and I was waiting for it. It ended up reversing on me a bit during the show, waiting the news and all of that. And I said during the video, I had established that pennant structure, and I said that I thought we were going to break down out of it. And Crusader basically said, no, I think we're going to 39K. And I said, we're going down. As soon as the show closed, such is what happens every episode, we broke down. We broke down hard and fast, and we basically broke out of there and came all the way down to, we wicked down to 35.6. I think we were at like 37 something at the time. So yeah, that played out, and I actually got out of the trade I was in at about $250 profit, so that was fun. Well, on my other platform, not necessarily on the show platform, because I use that to degen. But looking at the price right now, we're coming down a bit. And, I'm hoping to see this as a trend reversal from this down slope here. So all this downward activity pushing down here into the 35,000 range. As we're entering the US market, I'm hoping to see basically this reverse and pump to the upside. And then maybe there we see the 39,000. This is what I'm ultimately hoping for. We might pump. If we come all the way down here, this would be a second touch to this zone, which that could be scary. We could potentially break through it. But ultimately, I'm expecting to see us come down a little bit, get further into the U.S. time, and then maybe by the 10 o'clock hour, we start pumping. And if we do, I'm going long, because if we do, at that point, we may see 39,000 from there. Now, on my Ko-Fi account, I encourage you guys to follow me on there. I'm kind of considering it a bit of a newsletter from now on. It's ko-fi.com/CryptoCrow. Now, I don't know how censorship they are. I don't know what all I can say on here, so don't expect me to get political about anything. You can't share your opinion on any of these big tech platforms anymore without getting shut down, because they just don't like it. So, it's more about helping with crypto, my trading journey, what I'm doing. This is the trade I finally got out of. I just share my trading journey, what I'm doing, what my thought processes are, what I'm looking at, all of that. It could be very helpful, especially to new traders, because it's ultimately kind of my focus here. Now, if we look at this graphic I just made, we're going to go into the high-res version of it. This is the halving. And let me pull this up a little bit more so you can see it. This is a little graph I made of the previous halving cycles. We are currently at 147 days away from the halving, which you can see right there to the right. And with that, this is where we are. I mean, you can see right under now, you can see that white candle. We're starting to drop down a little bit. These are weekly candles. All of these are weekly candles. And hold on a second here. Not sure why that's not showing properly. Oh, maybe, okay. All right. So anyway, so these are all weekly candles. And with that, we have 147 days roughly until the next halving. I have this marked as April 15th of 2024. And if we look back in history, up in the top left, you see 147 days pre-2016 halving. So the top left is the halving leading into the 27-18 market, which was parabolic. I mean, it was one straight run all the way up to the top. After this halving curve, we pumped prior to the halving, and then we went sideways through the halving, dropped a little bit, and then we just ran from there. I mean, it was insanity. Then you see bottom left, the 2020 halving, and where we were 147 days prior to that. And the grand scheme of why I'm showing this is to put into perspective that in the 2020 halving pre-cycle, we basically pumped almost 50% and then dropped almost 64%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks before the halving. Why am I showing you this? Because in the grand scheme of things, what's happening right now doesn't freaking matter. And that's ultimately what I'm trying to explain. Now, what do I think is going to happen in this market? I think ultimately what's going to happen is I do believe that this is probably going to be the last bull market cycle we have. And I've been saying this for years. I've at least 2 years now. I've been saying I think that this is going to be the last bull market cycle we have. There are multiple reasons for this. Number one, because from a speculative perspective, I believe that Bitcoin's going to get priced out of the reach of everyone. That's just how it is. You're not going to be able to buy it. People are going to be able to trade fragments of a Bitcoin, obviously, the way we can now. You can buy $100, $10 worth of Bitcoin. But I think there's a certain psychology to owning an entire coin. And now we're seeing that there's this coordinated effort to go after all exchanges. And I've also said in the past, during the Binance Coinbase, when the SEC filed against Coinbase and Binance, what did I say was going to happen? Binance is going to take the fall. Binance is going to take a hit. Coinbase is going to be raised up as the end all be all. Why? Because Coinbase is US based, US regulated, has relationships with the regulators. And I think they went after Coinbase and Binance at the same time, specifically for that reason. But at the same time, now they're going after Kraken. They're going after other US based exchanges. Why? Because they want to make sure that they maintain control of these platforms moving into the next market cycle. Why? Because now BlackRock is involved. And when BlackRock officially gets its ETF approved, all of these exchanges could potentially become competition for BlackRock, competition for the major players that ultimately pull the strings for everyone in the world. That's really all there is to it. It's not about, I saw Merrick Garland and his big pat on the back speech. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Cool. There is a lot of crime in crypto. There's a lot of money laundering in crypto. There's a lot of bad apples in crypto. There are a lot of bad apples in any industry that involves money, period. But crypto still has a very dark cloud around it because people are still working on and doing things to get away with criminal activity. I mean, that's really all there is to it. We can't hide that. That's a fact. Is it as bad as the powers that be want to make it out to be? Maybe it is. They know a lot more than we do. And they track a lot more than we do. And when you're talking about international trade, international, transfer of value, they have means of knowing a hell of a lot more than you and I do on YouTube and on the interwebs. Okay. So I have to, as much as we love to like shoot down Merrick Garland and all of the political fiascos associated with crypto and Senator Warren and how she's just diehard anti, trying to do everything they can. You've got the SEC. You have all these left-wing appointees basically going after the space. But now you have one of the most left-wing companies, one of the biggest corporations in the world, BlackRock, ultimately, entering the crypto space. Okay. And that's a much bigger deal than like a JP Morgan, and JP Diamond and all those guys basically going into crypto. BlackRock getting into the Bitcoin ETF is a much bigger deal because they control a lot of political strings. JP Morgan and those guys, they have the relationships. They know how to play. They have the relationships with the regulatory bodies. They pay their fines and their fees for business, that whatever it is that they do, and they get their little slaps on the wrist. They pay their money and they keep moving forward, business as usual. BlackRock is another thing altogether. And what I think ultimately is going to happen is that this BlackRock ETF and the others like it are ultimately going to be pushing people into Bitcoin as much as possible. Because if Bitcoin is going to be, I think somebody's vacuuming right outside my door right now, and it's kind of driving me nuts. The very nature of this ETF is it's going to blow Bitcoin up. I actually could see Bitcoin getting to 235,000 by the peak of the 2025 cycle. That's ultimately what I can see happening. Now, outside of that, it's going to bring all other cryptocurrencies up as well. So I'm entering the space with a more risk-averse approach. There are going to be a lot of people that make a lot of money with a lot of the shittiest shitcoins on the market. That's just the nature of how things are. But those same people that are buying into these meme tokens and whatever these little assets are, that seem to be, the stuff that their neighbor's buying because their neighbor bought it. They were told by somebody's cousin or uncle or whatever that this is going to make them rich. They're going to watch their portfolios grow and grow and grow. And the thing of it is, at the same time, when the market does peak, they're not going to know. And we've all been through our first market cycle in crypto have all been very similar. We rode everything to the top. We thought everything was going to go forever. We thought anybody selling at the top is a bastard, is terrible, is greedy, or trying to push the market down or whatever, right? We've all had, I remember when we were all going after, the founder of Litecoin, and he sold the peak. And everybody thought he was so terrible for that. I did too, because I didn't understand. I didn't know. It was my first cycle. I'm like, why would you sell? What are you trying to do, right? Paranoia. It's because these people that came before us know the market cycles and what to expect. Now, the thing of it is, this market cycle, I believe, is going to be very, very different in the sense that, yeah, we'll probably have a peak, but that peak is going to be short-lived, and we're going to drop. But I don't necessarily see us dropping all the way to new lows. I think we may see a continuation of maybe a 10-year cycle from here. Because once the institutions enter the space, at that point, it's going to be about how do we get rid of all of the competition with Bitcoin? How do we go after anything that could pose a potential threat to Bitcoin? We are in Bitcoin. We're not into everything else. Anything that's not touched by these major institutions is going to be a target. And I think we're going to see a lot of hell at the peak of this market, as the institutions want to carry on with their Bitcoin and keep the value high so that they're not suffering losses as we continue to watch a transition of real world assets being tokenized and ultimately Bitcoin being used as a hedge. And I think that a lot of the, you got the Cardano, the Ethereum, the Solana, you have all of these others out there that are going to play a role. But I do think to some degree, like I know BlackRock, and I was looking for it. I was going to try and pull it up in this video. I know BlackRock posted some form of report basically explaining that they look at Solana, Cardano, several of these other layer one blockchains as competition with Bitcoin and how it's pulling Bitcoin's market dominance down. They don't want that. So when I saw that report, I thought, okay, so this is how BlackRock is communicating to the powers that be to say, go after these coins. And then after that report came out, what happened? We saw the SECs going after Kraken, and then they listed Solana, Cardano. They listed basically everything in the BlackRock report as securities. So they're trying to create this narrative already, and they're going after these exchanges. And as they're going after these exchanges, they're painting this narrative of basically all these assets that they say are securities. The last time we saw that, everybody freaked out. But what happened? Well, when they went directly after XRP, well, they've been losing their cases. It seems like any crypto project they go after, they seemingly lose in court. because it's just they're not securities. They're definitely asset classes of their own, and there needs to be a new category, if anything, because you just cannot compare Solana or Cardano to wheat, and wheat futures. Okay, I mean we're. Call it what you want to try and maintain your jurisdiction over the space, but let's just be real, there isn't one. And I really don't think anybody would have jurisdiction over the cryptocurrency space except for maybe the Commodities Commission. So what I see happening is I think the regulations, while targeting things like Cardano and Solana, they're not going after any of them individually, because I think they're going to know that they're going to have years of battles just to lose. Because I think that once the narrative's clear, people in the courts and everybody's going to realize we need a new asset class. If you want to regulate this, we need a regulatory body specific to the cryptocurrency space, not trying to basically bleed two together because it's more convenient. And I think that will probably start working its way into the system maybe sometime around 2025 as we prepare between 2025 and 2030, which is where I think things are really going to hit the fan. But in the meantime, I think that as Bitcoin gets priced out of the hands and the reach and the psychological reach of the many, I think that is where people are going to start continuing to look more into altcoins to try and recreate those cycles that Bitcoin once had. And Bitcoin will probably just hang out up top. I mean, I really think that that's going to be the case. And the thing of it is, they want to go after these exchanges because they want to make sure that the market makers and the retail public can't drop the price of Bitcoin based off of speculative sentiment. They want to be able to control that narrative from there. That's what I think is going to happen. And so I think we're going to see, like right now, we see Bitcoin goes up, everything goes up. I don't think they want that. I don't think they want that at all. I think when Bitcoin goes up, they want it to stay up for as long as they want it to stay up. And if they want to let it go down, they can push it down through futures and options and all that other shit. That's what I think is going to happen. And I think that it's going to be a whales game at that point. It's going to be the institutions trading, the ETFs, just basically doing everything that they typically do with other assets. But with BlackRock at the helm, it's going to be an entirely different story. So, overall, I think that this market is going to be a blow off top. I think that, like I said, I can see a $235,000 Bitcoin in the next market. I think as far as the altcoins are concerned, quite frankly, I think that we could see just about anything in terms of the altcoin market. I think the altcoins are going to really take people by storm, and I think it's going to catch a lot of people by surprise. I'm going to get a little video here. This is for the screenshot, just because I thought that'd be funny. So, yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know this isn't a big news video, more just like a little bit of a commentary as to what I think is happening. I'm not worried about it overall. I think this is going to be a life-changing year for many people. And what happens here with this drop, I'm looking to go long here pretty soon. I'm watching the candles. I'll let you guys know in Ko-Fi what I end up doing and how that turns out. But you know what? Today's my birthday, folks, just to let everybody know. I'm saying that at the end because I'm curious to see if somebody has happy birthday in the comments below. I'll know that you watched the entire video and you actually do love me, and I love you right back. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to go enjoy my afternoon. Hope for a big long trade here coming. I could be wrong. We'll see. I'm always right sometimes. But until next time, guys, curl your coins, and I'll see you soon.